All right, in today's video, I'm gonna break down the top 5 best airlines in the entire United States. And this is just gonna be broken down as a businessman and as ease of travel, right? And customer service and all that. If you're traveling for business, you wanna listen to this, or if you're traveling for a corporation, if you're looking for more points, I'm gonna break this down so that you can find out what the best airline is and why. So let's start with the worst of the best, okay? So American Airlines, first of all, they have some of the best routes in the entire world. They fly to most major cities in the entire world. They've got multiple hubs in the United States. They've got Dallas-Fort Worth. They've got Miami. One of the reasons I really like them is, honestly, their staff, the flight attendants, and the pilots are some of the best flight attendants and pilots in the entire world. Every time I fly on American Airlines, I'm super pleased with the amount of customer service that I'm given. Their pricing is pretty good. Let's talk about where they're bad. I don't like the upselling. Their customer service from their phone calls is the absolute most atrocious thing in the world. We took them from Kansas City to Philadelphia, all the way to Barcelona. Great flight, great staff, couldn't have been happier. Then trying to change my flight to come back, it was absolutely terrible. I couldn't get a phone call back. I called the first night, it's like, you're gonna have to wait 48 minutes. So I said, I'll call the next day. Called in the middle of the day. You're gonna have to wait an hour and 42 minutes next time. You're gonna have to wait 2 hours. And then you couldn't change the flight. You couldn't cancel the flight. Their app sucks. Their app is not good. They don't have an ease of customer use, right? Like, the experience traveling is great. The flight attendants are great. The price is pretty okay, but their bullshit upsells, their cancellation policy, tickets per points, you can never get upgrades. They try to nickel and dime you on things. Their aircrafts are a little bit outdated. American Airlines would be like my number 5 out of the top 5. United is number 4, right? United Airlines, I've always had a pleasant experience on them. The flight attendants are great. The status is great. They've got lots of cooperative partnerships all throughout the country. They've got multiple hubs. They've got the Denver hub, which is a big one. They've got Houston hub, which is a big one. And they fly pretty much everywhere you want to go in the entire country, probably less than American. The customer service is great. I don't like their bag policy. They don't really seem to have a lot of partnerships with credit cards that work well for me, and I don't think that their pricing is. I think the big 3, American, Delta, and United, are kind of in bed with each other, and they kind of fix pricing. United, definitely a better value than American, definitely better customer service than American, but they're probably almost an even split, but I'll just put them just one level above American because their customer service is one level above American. You could just talk to somebody, versus on American, you may not be able to talk to anybody. They literally make that whole time so damn long so that you go to the website, and then when you go to the website, it doesn't even work. It just really shits on your experience as a customer. So number 3 is gonna be Alaska Airlines. Now, I kind of got a love-hate relationship with Alaska Airlines. They used to be fantastic. Back when they were small, just a Seattle airline that just flew from here to there, they had really great policies. Their mileage program, I think, is a pretty decent one. It's always rated as one of the best. They just need to change their brand, right? Their brand identity is terrible. It's all right if you're flying them and you have status, you won't have to pay for baggage. They've got a pretty good situation with Bank of America. Alaska Airlines, I think, is a great airline. They do fly a lot of places. They're actually coming to Kansas City. They're gonna be flying direct to Puerto Vallarta, which I'm super excited to hear about. So they've got lots of Mexico destinations. They fly a lot to Alaska destinations, and they're a pretty good all-around airline. I would say their customer service is great. They try to keep it in-house. You can always get a hold of someone. They seem to be still customer driven, but they are kind of becoming one of the big 3. The number 2 best airline is actually, in my opinion, Delta. I'm gonna tell you why I like Delta and why I don't like Delta. First, I like Delta because they've got some of the best customer service that I have seen on their planes. I mean, their staff is top tier. They take great care of their employees. It shows. You know, they've got great technology. It shows. Delta's got lounges all over the globe, right? You got great lounges with the Reserve card, with the Amex card. You've got great privileges, right? Because I just use their credit card, I'm Sky Priority, which is great. Like, I'm just going to fly to go see my mom. I possibly will get an upgrade. I don't have to pay for my bags, which is nice. When I call them, I get a hold of someone. One of the bad things about that them. If you book late, they're probably the most expensive. They really hike their prices at the end. But I think if you book ahead of time, they're very easy to deal with. They don't have a super rigid cancellation policy. I believe they take care of their customer. I believe their flights are completely safe, and that's why it's my number 2 airline. I feel like with Delta, I'm gonna have a great experience on the flight, and when I call about the flight, I'm gonna have a great experience. Whether I like the answer or not, I'm gonna be able to get a hold of someone. If you can't get a hold of someone, that's the most frustrating experience in the world. The number 1 airline in the world, in my humble opinion, for so many different reasons, is Southwest Airlines, okay? You know, when you're traveling is stressful, right? You gotta go in, you gotta check into your airplane, you gotta go through security, you gotta take off your pants. You know, that whole experience just sucks. So when you get to the airline, the one thing that you want to know is that you're gonna have a good experience, okay? What makes a good experience for me? Well, not getting nickel and dimed. Oh, you want a seat in the front? That's an extra $45. The reason I started flying Southwest Airlines is I got a Southwest card, and I didn't even do anything other than use the card. I didn't even fly the airline, and all of a sudden I get a companion pass, and I said, what the heck is that? So my wife, literally, just because I used like $25,000 in charging, my wife now flies for free wherever I go. And guess what? When I'm not taking her, I can swap her out. And so Danny, who's right behind the camera, can fly for free when he goes with me. That goes into the whole other thing. It's like a lot of the airlines like Delta, American, all of them, they don't even give you a good value on your points. Like you might go to try to fly to Seattle, it's 100,000 points. You got to charge $100,000. On an expensive flight, it might cost me 40,000 points. Southwest, they give me such good value, such good value. Yes, they don't have the most direct flights, but they go everywhere. The other thing I like about them is I don't got to pay for my bags. I can always guarantee that I'm getting an aisle, a window, or a middle seat. I think their boarding process is way better than everybody else's. Rather than have assigned seating, just let everybody load the bus and get on. If you guys haven't read the book, The Southwest Way, I mean, Southwest has a philosophy, and their philosophy is to take care of their employees, and it shows. The employees are having a good time, they're happy, they don't have all the technology, they don't have all the bells and whistles that Delta does, but you don't really need it these days with your iPhone, your iPad, any of that stuff. They don't serve meals, you don't need meals, they give you a little snack, they keep you fed, they're happy, they make the flight pleasant, and you get you to point A to point B. And I think in the least stressful manner. Like I know when I get on Southwest Airlines, I'm gonna have an aisle or a window seat. I know when I get on Southwest Airlines, I can cancel 10 minutes before the flight, and I'm gonna get all my money refunded, no have to pay, no change fee, don't have to pay an upgrade fee, none of that crap. It's the most convenient airline. It's the best airline out there, bar none. In fact, if you fly any of the other airlines I mentioned, I would strongly suggest that you move to Southwest. Yes, I get points for doing this, but I'm gonna include in this video right here and in the description my link, and only the first 5 people will get this because I only get a limit of 5. I'll give you 100,000 points. You sign up with Southwest Airlines and you'll get a bunch of free flights. And if you're a real estate flipper like I am, you use that credit card for your flips and you'll get a companion pass where your companion will be able to fly free for you. So let me know what you think. That's based on my experience, on my millions of miles of traveling. I'd love to hear what you think. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.